Okay. So hi, Sonja. Very nice to be in this conversation again. This conversation is about what are the practical understandings of family constellations and how that can be applied to a coaching practice. And a coach who has a lot of clients, but still grapple with the underlying systemic issues. So I think our focus today is more, how can we be clear about how this practice, we call it a practice. Sometimes people call it a spiritual practice. People call it a growth practice. But in essence, how can this be applicable to clients who have blind spots, that have underlying subconscious patterns? How can this be helpful to them? And I think our focus today would be around that. Are we in alignment with that?
Oh, that'll be lovely. And I love the word that you said, blind spots, because most of us as coaches, we're talking about transformation, and we're talking about being coaches in the field of transformation, whether it is on a one-on-one basis, whether it's in a group basis, or even in a business situation. So let's use family constellations as a starting point, and then maybe go into the other work that coaches also do in the business environment. And
I think that's a great idea. Yeah.
Okay, and the thing is, every business has humans in it. Every human has a family system. And I think when we're so busy trying to just fix situations, we forget that every person we meet has a family system behind him or her. And I think that is very key, because we try and solve problems as we see them. And as you and I have discussed in the another perspective of another self, especially in the last one that we have been working, is as coaches, we often treat the symptom. And I think this is really, people want quick answers, they want fast answers, and treating the symptom. And what are the symptoms that you see in your coaching? So maybe we can get some examples of the symptoms that we see, and then what could be the underlying points,
yes,
the underlying core of that symptom that is being expressed. So my question to you would be, what are the underlying symptoms?
So that's a very, shall we say, juicy question, because
juicy stuff.
it is the same. It is the same for me and my experience between family constellations, and if we may jump already to organizational or business constellations. For me, the first one that jumps out completely as a big precursor is the whole issue of disconnection. Sometimes in a family, you just sense when you get a couple in the practice room that there's a huge disconnect between the father and the mother, between the man and the woman. And so the conversation is limited. The conversation is contracted. It shares information that is calculated, but it's not, the communication is not expansive. So it's not like open-hearted conversation. One of the things I think we touched on in the last week with our other recording around the series, Another Self, is also this battle between the heart and the mind. the moment couples or families are in survival mode, they focus on functionality. They focus on, are we going to make it financially? Are we going to survive this COVID period? And the questions go on and on. And it becomes like a battle between what do I really want for my life and how can I survive? So even that communication, that disconnect filters into the family system where people are now in survival mode and they don't think about connection anymore.